Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday live session. I know a majority of you couldn't make it just because of the time change, and I do apologize about that. But this is the recorded session, and I've got a couple of questions from you guys as well that I need to answer. And let's get into it. So first, we're going to go through some weekly recaps, trades that I know some of the guys on Discord took and I took, and we'll go over that and why we lost, why we won. And then we'll go through our weekly outlooks, so AU, EU, GJ, and GBP USD as well. Let's get into it. So starting off, markets aren't open because it's a Sunday, so let's have a look. And I also wanted to talk about identifying daily bias. That'll be a separate video right after this one that will come through into the knowledge session, right? Cool. First trade of the week was, let me have a look. Is it this one? Yeah, so it was this one. We went over this in the live trading session, but let's go over this one. I know this one was a little bit strange. Quick, brief overall. Daily bias, right? We need to know this just for this trade idea, right? Yes, this part here is all bullish, absolutely. And this part is bearish, as you can see. But what we have here is we have a break of structure. Then what do we have after a break of structure? A retracement, right? Perfect, that makes sense. So as soon as we see price retracing, what do we look at? Okay, so let's say 50% of this area, right? This area here, we're looking for sells. This area here, we're looking for buys. Because overall, price is bullish, right? This is where our demand zone most likely are going to get hit. Up here, not so much, right? Weaker areas, we can expect price to continue through here, right? So daily bias will change as price moves through zones. If at 9 a.m., right, just for the sake of example, I'm taking a trade, my daily bias will be sells, right, all the way until we get to around this area here, right? Or for here, right, these candles around, 1700. So it will be buys in this area, right? So around 5 o'clock, we have, as we get closer to the London session, we see these spikes in volume, and we're in this demand zone. My daily bias will be buys. Okay. So if we look at this now, what do we have? We have our price respected this demand zone, created a push up, couldn't do it, created a change of character, and then we had a retracement up, right, into this very obvious supply zone. Now, yes, my bias is sells, right? It's not bullish because we mitigated this supply zone, and then we respected this supply zone, right? Next, once we pull up into the supply zone, what do we see, right? What do we see? Let me go back to this. All right, we're zoomed in really close on the 15-minute, but I think we'll need to be. We have a failure of this supply zone, right? We have a failure of this demand zone. So this is exactly what we see, right? This would have been abusable short. I just didn't take it at 6 in the morning, unfortunately. But what happened was we have this supply zone being taken out, right? Now we respected it. Now we created this break of structure, right, to the downside, break of structure up, and then we'll go down to the 3-minute. Right, came down. Now what do we have? We have one supply zone and two supply zones here. Now, how do you know? I know a lot of you guys marked this one out and it didn't get mitigated. Absolutely, it could have. That's not a wrong thing to mark out. But I had this supply zone as well. And the main thing was, as you can see, we came out of a 1 hour supply zone. So there's a lot of sellers in this general area, right? Meaning, price won't always have those very smooth, obvious returns to these very, very low mitigated zones, right? What they will have instead is, if we're going for sells, halfway into one of these supply zones, come down halfway into one of these supply zones, right? Because we came out of such a high supply zone. Hour, 4 hour. So what's a 3 minute supply zone, right? Not a lot. So what I looked at was, okay, I see price coming up, right? Now, if I just make this supply zone smaller, it's not letting me do that, that's cool. Cool. If I make the supply zone smaller, you can see as price gets closer and closer to this candle, right? You can see price slow down. You can see momentum slow down, right? Bullish candle, bearish candle, bullish candle. This is called a hammer candle. I have that section on the Discord. So let me have a look. Reading candlesticks. So yes, so reading candlesticks, right? Bearish candle example. So what I did was I just set my limit order at this candle here. Supply zone initially was very close. And I came to my senses as I saw price moving up. It's maybe a little bit, maybe more than 4 pips up. And then just held the trade till around 4R, right? Or it was 4.14 or something. So that was that trade, right? Main concept was reading candles and daily bias. Next, I also had this, but this is purely just a gamble on price action. So this was, I saw we had a break of structure, we had the demand zone here. What's the chance this price is just going to continue down, right? And it did. I was very lucky. Closed on a nice 1 to 3, sorry. Next, one of the mistakes that I made last week, as you can see, I had this zone marked out. We did not have a break of this supply zone. There was no failure of the supply zone. Yes, we tapped into this demand zone, right? And I used this 15-minute supply zone, but we didn't we didn't cross past the overall supply zone. Cool. So still, this would have been a good sell area. But I decided to go buys, had my 3-minute demand here, limit order here, and we just got stopped out, right? It's just how we go, learn from our mistakes. As you can see, now though, we have our breaker structure. Oh, sorry, our change of character. Now, yes, we have our change of character on GJ, right? And where are we coming from? Right, we're coming from a very high zone. We're still in the 50%. Yeah, we're still in the 50%. So we do have a lot of trouble left. This could also be considered a retracement back into the zone. I would be watching for sells until this zone, right? And then just see what happens from this zone. Wouldn't be taking buys from this zone. I guess this is where we transition to our weekly outlooks, right? Clearly bearish structure there, but we do have these wicks that are closing. I think I would wait until we get some clear direction here, right? Clear direction either for buys, which is preferable, or we look for some sells close to this area here. Just until, we get, so we had to change character, right? If we're able to mitigate this area, then valid sells, definitely. But yeah, GJ is kind of a wait and see moment right now. And Mondays, plus I know we guys don't really like trading Mondays as well. And this trade, I know we talked about it and I was so stupid. When I properly looked at it, we hadn't mitigated this low. We didn't create a change of character, right? So this is actually super, super valid bullish structure. I know if you look for a 3 minute, you'd have a nice push up here. So I hope you guys took it. If you didn't, this would have been pretty good as well. Next thing, for AUD USD, we have our breaker structure. What are we looking for next? We have all this imbalance to fill, right? Now imbalance is just purely this zone. As you can see, if you take 3 candles, 1, 2, 3, this section here, these were all buyers, right? Sellers have sell orders in here that haven't been filled because just how quickly price moved up, right? As you can see, imbalance, you don't really need to know why imbalance is imbalance, right? All you need to know is how it works. We have imbalance and it gets filled. Same thing with our GJ imbalances, right? See that? I'm fully still expecting this imbalance to get filled. In GJ, these imbalances are visualized. On these charts, they're not. So I'm fully expecting price to fill this imbalance here. So look out for this. I'll do a session on imbalances as well coming in. GU. Okay, this is a little bit interesting, right? It's very limbo for the next couple of weeks. As you can see, we just had news 2nd of March. We have news on the Wednesday, on the Thursday, and the Friday. So I'd say be careful with trading that. But as you can see, what I'd be looking for is we still respected, this actually is not an hourly, it's a 4-hourly demand zone. Why? Because this is the 4-hour demand zone, but 50% is around here. We already mitigated that, so I'm just putting it to the lowest point possible, right? What I'd like to see is something along these lines, and then kind of moving up like that, right? That's not what it's meant to look like. So something along these lines is what I'm looking for GJ, or GU, sorry. Getting a failure of this supply zone, right? As the reason is because we are still bearish. Right, we're still bearish. Absolutely, you can look for sells here, but why should you not? Because we're in this supply zone, or in this demand zone, clearly created by this move up. DXY, bearish, right? We had this failure of this demand zone. Price is moving down, as you can see. No, let's see. Yeah, we're still pretty bearish, and plus we have this imbalance to fill. So in turn, GU and AU, our bias overall would be bullish, right? So this one kind of aligns with it. This one doesn't. We could possibly see it move to here and move up, but we'll see what the week holds. Euro USD should be the same picture as well. So one of the guys asked about imbalance. We'll go through imbalance as well on the next knowledge session, which I'll have recorded for you guys. Pretty much the same story, isn't it? We're looking for sells on this one. Let's go here. So price still respecting this demand zone, right? Overall, on the higher time frame structure. Actually, no, this is the higher time frame. So we could still see price retrace all the way up here to this 50% zone. So Euro USD actually aligns with buyers a lot better because, yes, we have this supply zone, but we have this 4-hour demand zone as well, right? What I'll be looking for in particular is a failure of this supply zone, come down, look for some type of demand zone, and look for buys up. So keep an eye out for that. But that should be the weekly outlook done, trade recap is done. And then we will have our live session, our live trade session on the Friday as usual. I think that's a good idea. Oh, sorry, let's do the Wednesday. Let's do the Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That sounds good because Wednesdays is typically pretty good. So yeah, I hope you guys take care, enjoy the week. See you guys on Wednesday.